Okay, so today what we will discuss, like past we have discussed, today we will discuss Hibernate. So Hibernate is a total new concept and it's very important. Okay, first we will discuss in the past what we had discussed, right? As part of core Java, one day we discussed, right, like how to connect database,
Yeah,
right?
JDBC.
Yeah, JDBC, correct. So how we connected to the JDBC program? We connected, I think we used MySQL, right? Yeah, we connected to MySQL database and we inserted some of the records and we retrieved it. So for that, what we
Yeah.
did, just we will see today some introduction and later on we will see examples. Every day we will see at least some 2 3 examples. So first what we have written, we have written a standalone Java program, correct?
Okay.
Java. So what this after that what we did, we have written one procedure, sorry, one query, SQL query, select star from thing.
Yeah.
Select star from employee where ID equal to something. One query I have
Yeah.
written. After that, I used JDBC.
Okay.
JDBC like SQL, what is that? Create statement, execute query, all those things I used.
Yeah.
So I have written this query. We have to write query, we have to write Java program, and we have to write the connection program. And finally, we have a database, DB. So
Okay.
inside this DB, before accessing employee table, I created one table employee in database.
Okay.
I created one table. I mean, in MySQL database, table name as employee and database name as some tester, student or something. Database name is student and table name is database name is some test and the table name is student. Okay.
Yeah.
After that, what I did, so inside I written a simple main program, and inside that I have written one SQ string query equal to select star from employee, where something like that. Maybe I will open that program. I think that will be good. Yes, I think this is the one we connected to database DB connection. So this is where we have written a program. So first what I did, public static void main, and when I added driver also, driver class, I included one jar. It's related to MySQL, then JDBC colon, localhost, port number, and this is my DB what I created, and this is my username and password. If you see here, right, I have written one SQL query here. Select star from customer info. Correct?
Right.
After
Right.
that, I am trying to read the each column. RS get string column name. I'm trying to read address ID, address line number one, and state. I'm printing that results. So far it's
Okay.
clear, right? And here we are writing manual query, correct? We are writing the query. Before that, we have to create this table and we need to dump some data, correct?
Right.
So these are the manual steps so far we are doing. Creating the table and writing the query and reading each column name. This is the process. Say for instance, right now I am using MySQL.
Okay.
Correct. Say for instance, I want to migrate my database to MySQL to Oracle or DB2 or Sybase or
Right.
NoSQL. There are so many databases available in the market. So your technical managers, they have taken a decision. We have to move. We have to move out of MySQL and we have to use some other database. So then it's very difficult. What is the difficulty? So right now, whatever query you have written, so this query is compatible with MySQL.
Yeah.
But when you are changing the database, we need to write the query again, which will compatible with the new database.
Right.
This is one issue. And the second issue is you have hard coded your query in your database. Correct. So if I want to use the same query in another place, I am not able to reuse it.
Yeah.
This is the second problem. And third problem is here. So here I am doing manually the closing the connection and all.
Yeah.
So if something have some exception happened here and this connection is still it is open,
Yeah.
and changing the database from one database to another database is very difficult. Why? Because we need to write the queries again which will compatible with the new database.
Right.
So these are the general issues, or I mean whatever we are using the, I mean inside traditional database connectivity, we are using like a JDBC connectivity. Okay, and now go back to the, I mean that Hibernate. So what is the difference between this normal JDBC connection and, I mean, Hibernate? So this
Yeah.
Hibernate, what it will do, it is kind of purely object-oriented program. So if you see here, there is no object-oriented program. I mean, the example whatever we created as part of here, right? So we are giving the column name. We are hard coding the column name here, correct? As per the table.
Yeah.
So if you use the Hibernate, so what is the advantage we are getting? The advantage number one. So we have a configuration XML. So that we will see the example today. Today just I'll give theoretically so that you will get some idea when you see the example, so that you will be getting in more sense. Okay. So
Ah,
when you are changing the database from one database to another database, so if you see our old example, so we have to modify the Java code. Correct. We need to load the Oracle driver and we need to
yeah.
give the Oracle corresponding URL.
Yeah.
Modifying Java code is very difficult. So the same thing, if you can able to configure into the XML, it is very easy. Correct. So if you use the Hibernate, these things you can able to configure in Hibernate. Sorry, in XML. So
Okay.
changing the database, driver URL and URL, driver URL, username, password. So everything you can able to do it in XML. So this is one advantage.
Yeah.
So we can able to configure the database details in XML. This is one advantage that we will see tomorrow. So how to configure a database details in XML. And the second advantage here, right? So we are writing query here manually, correct?
Yeah.
If you use Hibernate, what is the advantage? Hibernate will generate the query. You no need
Okay.
to write the query. It will generate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Just like the JSP
Just like, yes,
support.
correct, like we have inbuilt request kind of thing, right? You can
Yeah.
use, it will generate the query and we can able to see the query also. So that query will generate based on the database. If you are using MySQL, it will generate MySQL corresponding queries. If you use Oracle, it will generate MySQL query kind, Oracle kind of queries.
Right.
So it is having that much intelligence. Okay, and the queries it will generate, and the username, the database related things you can able to configure in XML. This is two advantage. The third advantage is, right, so here we are hard coding the column names, correct?
Yeah.
And so whereas here, right, in Hibernate, you no need to hard code the column names as per the database. You can give X also. For
Okay.
corresponding column name, you can give in database as a PQR. Database column name is PQR, but PQR you are referring as X. So it's flexible. So you can give whatever name you want and corresponding name you can map to the database. So this mapping is happening through XML.
Yep.
So the table s- the table column names we are mapping through Java. So this is inside the, so basically we need to create a employee class, and inside the employee class we need to declare a fields. You can declare age, name, field, whatever you want. So that fields you can map to table column names via XML.
Okay.
So this is another XML. There is two XMLs. One is configuration XML and second one is table related XMLs.
Okay.
And fourth one is, right, so here we have a transaction management is very easy. Transaction management. And fifth one is, right, so whenever you want to change the database, what you have to do, we have to modify only this XML. So now you are
Okay.
using database D1, and if you want to move to D2, just give the configuration details. Now I am using remove it, and D1 you can remove and you can add to D2 and just run the program and it will generate the query. That's it. It's very simple. You no need to modify your Java programming, just modify the XML and run it. So it will generate the query and it will insert the data, it will get the data.
Yep.
And sixth one is, so if you want to create a new table, you no need to go to the database, you no need to log in at all into the database. Just create one new poser class, employee or customer or student or whatever. Just plain simple class and add the fields and write setter getter of that class. Okay, and that class you have to configure in one of the XML that I'll show you tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
This is the XML I'm telling that if you are trying to add a new table, you have to create one XML.
Okay.
So whatever XML we have created, that XML you have to register in the parent XML. So basically we have two XMLs. One is configuration XML and another one is table related XMLs.
Okay.
Okay. So these are the two basic XMLs we are using in as part of the Hibernate, and write one simple main class. So from that main class, for your main class, standalone class. So for this main class, you have to give input the configuration XML. Okay,
Yep.
this configuration XML will read the all the tables,
Okay.
and it will create that whatever you want to create the table, or you want to retrieve the data, or you want to delete it, and it will give you all the results to your standalone client program, and you can use it.
Okay.
This is one advantage, and the last advantage is here, right? What it will do, so whenever you are trying to get the connection database, we have a database, right? So one guy is got a connection and he used it, and the transaction management is very easy here. We have a, I mean, like we are using, right, transaction management means if you inserted data everything properly, then you can say we are closing the connection, correct? So here we have a mechanism called commit. If you insert the data properly, then you have to commit. If you insert the data partially, you supposed to insert 10 records, but you inserted only 5 records. After 5, some issue came, some exception happened. Then what you have to do, you have to roll back all the previous past records, whatever you have inserted, 5 records, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
The transaction is not completed. In that is very easy. Here we have a transaction, it will give you a transaction class kind of thing, so you can use that one. You can able to close the connections, or you can able to revert the previous records whatever you inserted.
Okay.
That is very flexible and it's very config, when it's very easy here. And another thing is, right, so here it will, so before connecting to database we need to get the connection correct.
Yeah.
So that what it will do, it will use kind of a session factory. It will use session factory and it will try to create a connection per user.
Okay.
If 10 people are connecting, it will create 10 different connections. It will manage it.
Okay.
So that you no need to care whether it is creating a connection for me or something like that. So it will create a separate connection for every user and it will maintain it.
Yeah.
So these are the some of these today you saw only theoretically, and what I will do tomorrow I will show you practically. I will write some one or two programs daily and I will run it and I will show you the program immediately. What I will do, I mean, I will upload that programs into Git or somewhere. You can download that program. So because it's difficult to type, so XMLs and all we need to copy and paste it into your local only.
Okay.
And you run it and you see the results. And you modify the column names or something, and add another table and modify the column name and give the column name as a wrong and run it and you see the what is the results or what is the error.
Okay.
Okay, that will give more sense for you.
Okay.
I mean, today you got some idea, right? So what is the
Yeah, I got idea.
GDBP?
So yeah, I got his
Also,
idea.
I'll give some links. Just you can have it look at
Yeah, yeah, that's
theoretically.
fine.
And tomorrow, what I will show you, I will write some 2 3 examples, and I will run it, and I will give that sample programs to you, and you can run it from your local machine.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, tomorrow we'll start one sample program.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay.